Alright, timestamp. It is June 14th, 2026. There we go. That's what I want to see. About 1 a.m. Did that. I'll show you. Wanted to get some of that copper color going. Yes. Yes. Alright, so we were at Aldi the other day, and they were clearancing these guys. Bacon ranch dressing. Dick saw it and was like, you know, that would be great in that chicken salad you make. I was like, alright, okay. She's not wrong, but yeah. So got about 2 pounds of diced chicken here, a red onion, olive oil, garlic herb mix. Heat down just that little bit. We have You're Doing recipes, because I've got one friend that likes to jot down stuff. She's still learning how to not cook from a box. 2 pounds diced chicken, 1 red onion, comfortable layer of garlic herb on top. It'll mix in with the olive oil and all that. When you think you've done a little bit too much, do one shot more, because it's going to be in the chicken, the onion, and then you're going to be adding that spice also to the other stuff, which you're not spicing. So it's going to go a lot further than you think. I've got 14 eggs and most of that bottle of ranch. Already smashed up the hard-boiled eggs with the ranch dressing. Getting the copper color throughout. See what I'm looking at is like this right here. Just that little bit of, there we go. That little bit of bronzing, browning there. That's what I'm going for. Right there. I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to turn it off because the residual heat will help push the rest of this over that line just that little bit, and I want it kind of chilled when I add it to the other. Not chilled, but not grill hot when I add it to the egg. Und the ranch dressing. Yeah. Oh yeah. Color's looking good. Very complicated. Chicken, onion. You can do any onion, but my wife prefers the red onion. She's been trying to get me to try it for a long time. I've always done like white and yellow. And I finally picked up some red onions like a year ago and went, oh my god, what have I been missing? I freely acknowledge that I can be a little slow. Just set in my ways. But yeah, oh, Doodle. Hey, bud. X. Suddenly, a cat. What's on your mind, Doodle? You okay? Okay. We have a good relationship. We talk to each other. Made some Barissimo vanilla. We've been doing the mocha marshmallow. Made like 3 pots today. Have to admit, it's really good. But we're going to do something different, do some vanilla, which is always a crowd favorite. I think Tiny's down. Alex may or may not be up, I'm not sure. The garage sale, did about 50. And then the clouds started rolling in. They were a little ahead of schedule. We didn't get rained on. It did start to sprinkle just a little bit while we were starting to pack up, and that stopped. And then it rained harder after we were done. So thankfully it pulled its punch a little bit, because that could have been ugly. But yeah, it was only a $50 day. But I've done over 100 on eBay today too. So exactly, and I've got a lot of stuff to list. Some stuff we just actually, at the end of today, we had a whole bunch of like handbags, some designer stuff too. There was like some Coach and some Prada. I don't even know where my mom got them. Here's the thing though. I don't know that they were in great shape when she got a hold of them. And then she stored them in an unsealed plastic tote, basically on a porch where there's high humidity. And they sat there for years. I have a candle going. I'm going to move that, because I think Hex might want to try and jump onto the bar on that side. And I see shenanigans in my future. Either him sticking his face in it or him sticking his paw in it when jumping up or something. And then he's going to have pumpkin wax. And there could be, a roaming fire in the kitchen. I try and avoid kitchen fires, especially involving my cat. Just, there's so much that can go wrong there, I'm a sweaty mess. I've been running around doing stuff, been steam cleaning carpets, did dishes, I'm cooking. But yeah, it should make a pretty good sized container, and I'm going to portion out as one of the smaller Tupperwares, whatnot, for my girl to take home. I really wish she were here. Because I'm weird. I keep reflecting back on the beginning of Amok time, Star Trek. Of course, right? See the Star Trek or Doctor Who. With my wife, it's either Supernatural or Tolkien, so, but the greetings that T'Pring and Spock parted but never parted, all that. We've been separated for 13 months. Hold on. Coffee emergency. I need one of those like on-air signs or something that they have in radio studios. Put my best Larry King out there. Good evening, Paul from Toluca, you're on. But yeah, we're not separated, but she's living at George and I'm here at Leonardo. And it's been that way for 13 months now, and it's such a drag. Now, I've been with this girl 30 years. I like her. She is, in fact, my best friend. I know that's scary. It's true, though. Yeah, that's good. And we're trying to do a butt ton of stuff. And kind of getting a chance to catch each other in between. Sucks. But yeah, there's a whole tote full of, I'd already thrown some away that actually had like active like mildew, mold going on. And again, once they were probably, they had to have been in better shape than when I found them. You know what I mean? But yeah, you open the tote and it's like, ooh, that musty, mildewy smell. It's like, no, we're just not doing this. No. I don't know that anybody has the patience to rehabilitate those, and I don't even know if they can be rehabilitated. You know, you got leather that's like flaking and breaking off and stuff. It's just like, no, we're just not even going to mess with this. No. We're not exactly running out of things to put on the driveway. We're going to be okay. We'll be okay. Yeah, we made just under $50. Yeah. But I made like 110 so far. I've got another 300 that people are considering in active negotiation with me on. So might be a good weekend eBay wise. Doing what I can where I can. Check on my chicken. Gotta be careful where you say that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, again. Nice copperish going on. Feeling like Marty Feldman there. Abby something. I can't help it, you know. You're in my head. I was thinking about this earlier today, and it kind of made me a little sad, so I'm going to share it with you. I think Cloris Leachman is still around. I think. And in saying that, I might even be wrong on that. But, other than Mel Brooks himself, who is gotta be in his 90s, or at least late 80s. I think he's 90. The entire cast of Young Frankenstein's gone. Terry Garr, Gene Wilder, Marty Feldman, Madeline Kahn, Peter Boyle. I think Cloris Leachman's still around. So, if you're not as familiar with them, she was Frau Brugger. That was so you can insert the horse sound in the background. We'll get that in post. Thank you. And good night. Some funny stuff. And for the record, because I have been asked this before because I'm a Mel Brooks fan. Yes, I'm a sci-fi fan. Spaceballs is not my favorite Mel Brooks. Actually, Young Frankenstein is. And I do absolutely love Blazing Saddles. And I know people say that, well, you couldn't make that today. I don't know. I mean, Mel Brooks is Mel Brooks. There is no other Mel Brooks. We got one. But I could see like the Wayans brothers possibly putting something together, because they've already done some stuff that was like, ooh. The political correct police may. Can you say? I mean, obviously you can't say that, but should you? Ooh. They might be able to get away with something like that. I don't know that an old Jewish guy could do it. You know what I mean? I don't know that that would fly. But a couple of black writers could possibly get away with that. You know, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, we had a gag when we did Rocky Horror. Um, our riffraff was black. He's a talented, fun guy named Xavier. Um, so there's a scene. There's a scene where Frankenfurter comes at Riffraff with a whip. Because Rocky has escaped, his plaything that he's created has escaped, and Riffraff has caused all kinds of trouble. And Frank is angry. You already know where I'm going with this. So we're doing like an on-stage walkthrough with the script, kind of a read-through, but we're actually walking through it. And Xavier and I kind of looked at each other, we're reading this part of the script, and it's like, you know, the optics here are kind of awkward, right? And Xavier was like, I say we should go full awkward. And I'm like, oh dear God in heaven, where are you going with this? And he was like, well, instead of, you know, the line is like, please no master, or something like that. He said, I'm going to say, please no massa. And I was like, um, am I allowed to laugh? And he's like, yeah, you're allowed to laugh. I'm like, okay. So we're taking the awkward dial from 6 and cranking it up to 12. And he's like, yes, we are. It's like, okay, two things. One, if anybody asks, this was your idea. I know I'm the director. This was all your idea. And he's like, I'll take it. I'm like, he's like, is this going to be funny? I'm like, oh dear God in heaven, I can't believe I'm agreeing to this. Okay, no, I agree. The awkward aspect of it is pretty funny. Mel Brooks would give it a full salute. I think my appropriate response would be to embrace the awkward, almost do a fourth wall break to the audience, and then drop the whip over my shoulder as though I was like stretching or something, as a means of brushing aside the awkwardness, like kicking it out of the way with my heel, kind of that whole nothing to see. And Xavier was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, I don't believe we're doing this. Okay. Oh shit, I'm gonna get damn bastard. The critics are gonna be like, Mr. Wolfgang. We know that Rocky Horror is already kind of a, show, but, and nobody said a word. Except the audience who laughed their asses off. I mean, we knew it was going to be funny. Xavier especially knew it was going to be funny. Damn it. But it played really well. Real support on that one. That was his idea. I'm ballsy on stage, but there are some lines I won't cross, because my circle of friends looks like a UN summit. I don't even know that I would have thought of that. I just know in reading that part of the script I went, oh, I'm whipping a black man on stage. Ooh. It's in the script, though. I don't know that we can choose to plow forward and not make a big deal of it. You know, because the part isn't written, neither part is written black or white, you know. There's no racial parameters in the script at all. I'm like, this is what the script dictates. Okay. Because, I mean, that's really your two options in that situation, right? Plow through it as though this is normal, nothing to see, it has nothing to do with that. Or embrace the awkward and crank the dial up. And apparently Xavier was driving because he was allowed to control the radio. So, but yeah, no, it played. Man, I really... Definitely one of those moments where I'm like, we'll know after the first night. We got off stage after that scene, and he was like, yeah, okay. But if this gets mentioned in the papers or anything, it was still your idea. He's like, it was funny, I'll take that. I'm like, yeah, you're looking good. Look at that. Look at that. Nom, nom, nom. Alright. Park you over here. Hey, look at that. Sure if we're going to need to use the dregs from the ranch or not. Health check wise, been anxious all day, but a lot of that's because I didn't want to do the garage sale to begin with. We were actually doing okay because it started doing the rain thing. That's the ice machine in the fridge, coping with the fact that I rated it for ice for doing the eggs. Yeah, I didn't want to do the garage sale, but we were actually doing okay, and then it started to do the sprinkle thing. I'm like, okay, damn it. I'm not into it, but at the same time, money was happening, so that is the motivating factor. That and the fact that things were, you know, going away. So it's twofold, cash and... Please, someone take this stuff. Yeah. And with this, the dregs and whatnot, the little crumbs and whatnot, absolutely add it. There's nothing wrong with that. They're little bits of chicken, little bits of onion, and they're soaked in olive oil. Oh no, it's good for you. You know what I mean? And if some of those little bits are a little bit crunchy or whatnot, that's actually pretty good because it adds a little texture contrast. And it won't be drastic. It won't like be alarming. Yeah, because anytime you got olive oil in something, it's not a bad thing at all. But according to all the health gurus, extra virgin olive oil. I mean, olive oil is good in general, but try and get the extra virgin if you can. It's better for you. You want the high polyphenol count. See, I paid attention in class. But yeah, some anxiety, but I feel okay. Still got a little bit of that upset stomach thing, which again I think my ulcer came back. Yeah. It makes the most sense with my symptoms. I'm gonna not utilize the rest of the ranch because it actually looks pretty good. From a liquid versus non-liquid standpoint, that's pretty good consistency wise. Let that sit there and think about what it's done. Used most of the bottle though. This stuff's really good. I think it was short dated. I think that's why they clearanced it. Because Pick said something about the date on it. Yeah, November 2026. So we have to use it in the next, 4 months? Oh no. How will we get through it? Yeah, if we go back to Aldi on Monday, we probably will. This is the post office we go to. We basically have to pass an Aldi on the way to the post office, so it works out pretty well. That's why I always wind up going to both places when we do a trip. But if they still have any, I may grab the last of them. They were like 89 cents a bottle. It's normally a $2 or $3 bottle. Yeah. An extra few bottles on the shelf that I have to use by November. Yeah, that won't be a problem. We use ranch in a lot of things, and the bacon ranch. It's good stuff. So I'm going to be doing some laundry, working on some more carpets. Susie Homemaker. Just some maintenance-y stuff that's got to get done. And I got 2 new totes behind me of glassware that I need to go through, reset, look for paperwork and pocket watches. The search goes on. No idea what my dad has done with some of the different things that are missing. So, reset it, pull more books off those brown shelves in the garage, free up room, keep working the slide puzzle 1 brick, yada de yada. But progress is being made. Sweaty and tired though. I'm gonna at least get a little bit more done before I grab a shower and fall over. Seems like a good idea. My slideshow on my computer. I just changed over to the Haunted Mansion wallpaper. It's literally wallpaper. I love that. I could do that in my house. Good old Crump design. Love it. Alright. I'm going to sign off here. But yeah, that's a kind of a nutshell speed run of like a chicken egg salad. The ranch dressing, I can't stress enough, it makes a huge difference. You can do it with mayo. You can. But I mean, if you don't like ranch dressing, then obviously this is a horrible idea. But ranch dressing isn't that far removed from mayo. Honestly, it's really not when you think about it. You think about the flavor, it's not that different. It's just got that little bit extra going on. It makes such a difference, such a, in my opinion, better add. And if you can get a hold of some of the flavored ranch dressings, like Aldi does, and I did pick up a couple last time they had them in again. It's an avocado ranch, like a guacamole ranch. That's really good in one of those too. You can almost do like a southwestern chicken egg salad. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's simple, and especially if you've got a family that's pretty much on the move. They're not necessarily sitting down for meals, having something that you can just kind of throw on bread and make sandwiches at noon or at 3 in the morning. That's a benefit. You know? So, that's why we fry up a huge amount of sausages or hot dogs. That's why we do stuff like that around here. Makes it real quick and easy for everybody to get fed, even though we're all on completely different schedules. Because we frequently are. So I'm going to call it there. I'm going to get back to work. Definitely made progress today. Not as much as I wanted, but I never make as much progress as I want in a single day. Very rarely. Capricorn curse. It's probably an earth sign curse, frankly. I know I've got a couple of Virgos in my life that are pretty special, and I know they're always in that kind of camp too. I had 10 things on my list. I got 7 of them done. I'm so mad about those other 3. Talking at you, fun size. Stay strong, girl. Love you pieces. I got some friends going through some stuff, so we all are, right? But anyway, yeah. So, my cats were being suspicious. I'm looking at you, Janus. Anyway. Hug your parents. Hug your kids. Make it a great day. I will hose you down.